Thank you so much for being part of this. We're going to have a lot of fun today. So you're going to learn all about a lot of different pieces of the science of intention and power of your voice. And I think you'll find it to be very, very uplifting. So you're going to learn all. Okay, there we go. That is in place. So warm welcome. Thank you so much for being part of our class today. Let's also get it recorded. Nice. Okay. All right. Get this all worked out. Thank you everyone for joining. The microphone is in place. Thank you for being part of this today. Thank you for hanging out with us. And this is moving really even beyond the genius today. So I think we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to do a class today. We're going to do a class on Friday as well. So if you want to come to the Friday class, you're welcome to do so. And let's see what we have here. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. And we are going to be talking about something really near and dear to my heart. And, you know, the genius is an amazing tool. And you know that I've been teaching and training with the genius for going on about 10 years now. And it is an incredible tool that we love to keep training, teaching, and showing how amazing it is. But the interesting thing is that the genius is just our training wheels. It is a vehicle for us to express our intention. And if we really knew the truth, we even could put aside the genius, even though it's an incredible tool that we'll all continue to be using. So let's talk all about some important concepts. And I want you to think about that somehow within you, you know you have the power to manifest. You probably know you have the power to manifest anything, the power to heal anything. And imagine if everybody on planet Earth knew that and we couldn't be fooled anymore. What if people knew that in response to the germ that everybody talked about, that it could be healed like that with intention, with the power of their voice? What would be possible then? So these are the things that I want you to think about. We're going to talk a little bit about this, and then we're going to do a real-time process for someone who'd like to volunteer. And if you know that you're really on the precipice of some powerful transformation and you want to be part of our class today, then I'll invite you to put your date of birth, and we are going to work with the genius for this particular project, but it actually goes beyond the genius. So what prevents people from having all the money that they really truly want? And what prevents people from experiencing true joy, maybe in your life or in their lives, or they're constantly have thoughts of they don't want to be here, or they're very anxious, or they're scared, or they feel wounded. They don't quite feel like they can achieve what they want, no matter how hard they try. Maybe it's a fit body or a relationship. So what is it truly that prevents people, no matter how hard they try, from attaining these goals, the things that they truly want? Feeling full of energy each and every day. That's always such a desire from people, is, gosh, I want more energy. What really prevents that? Is it a disease? Is it just karma? Is it just something we can't know the answer to? I've been to every doctor and I can't get an answer. I can't get a resolution. So, okay, let's just see if we have some questions here. Okay, wonderful. So we'll work on as many volunteers as we can, so you can keep that energy coming. I love it. So I want you to think about that. You know, what kind of prevents people from moving forward? In what, you know, you probably have made a lot of strides in your life if you're a genius practitioner or you're a healer. And you can think about the things that maybe you're blocked from, or you notice that you keep stumbling over and want to get there. What do you think in your own contemplation really prevents you from getting there? You know, years ago, I lived in an ashram and I studied for 6 months in an ashram in India. And this is going back decades. And so it wasn't as popular to have, affirmations and positive thoughts, and you can have whatever you want. And I remember that one of the other devotees was studying the Mahabharata, and she said, look at this in the Mahabharata, part of what they're saying is it's one of the most ancient and revered texts in India that tells you about life and what you can expect. And there within the Mahabharata is the Bhagavad Gita, which is an important book informing you about life. People say the Sanskrit chants from the Bhagavad Gita every day. So it's a very important text in Indian history. And within the Mahabharata, she said, look at this. She said, it says in the Mahabharata, whatever you say comes true. And at that moment, I was like, what? This must be fiction. Whatever you say doesn't come true. That's just fantasy. And now we know so much more about how powerful our words are, that our words are creating our reality, and they're creating our reality faster than ever because time is speeding up so much, and so much light has been pouring down into planet Earth. But I remember at that moment just thinking, gosh, if whatever you say could come true, that would be an amazing power to have. So in thinking about this, and you could easily be thinking, gosh, Ariel, I know that whatever I say comes true. I'm good on that. But do we really act on that? So what is the power? What is the true scientific information that we know about the power of words? And beyond the power of words, what is the power of your voice? Is there an inherent power in your voice that even goes beyond the power of your thoughts? And how does intention work? Yes, it's easy to say like, oh yeah, intentions, they sure are powerful. Did you know that there's a science behind intention and how it works within your brain? And it generates actual electrical fields that are broadcast out. And wouldn't it be nice to really quantify this, to understand it in that way? It sets us up for much more empowerment of understanding that each word is so powerful. And then we'll notice those words, be more conscious about those words. So when you think about your thoughts during the day and think about the course of your day, whether you're feeling good or you're feeling dissatisfied, you're feeling happy, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling joyous or joyful, you're feeling bored, could it be the things that we're thinking be the biggest block? I know it sounds sort of obvious, but think about the thoughts that you've been swimming in for the last 24 hours. Are they helping you, bringing you up, or are they bringing you down? Are they contributing to what you're experiencing? Now, I want you to think about this for your genius clients as well. When they come in and they're in chronic pain, could their thoughts have anything to do with their chronic pain or even their ability to get past their chronic pain? So even the most serious illnesses, it's not to say it's their fault. We never want to say that, but could thoughts be an important vehicle to leading them from where they are to where they want to be? I mean, should doctors be giving medicine, or should they be giving positive thoughts for people and statements for them to repeat over and over again? It is the nature of human beings to default to negative thoughts and worry unless we constantly create an environment, a process, and a practice to think positive thoughts. This is one of the most important studies that we could devote ourselves to understand the science behind the thought, the words, the frequency, the electromagnetic field of the words, and what effect they're having down to our own cells, our organs, and then broadcasting out to the local world just right around us, and then the broader world that we're contributing to. What are we broadcasting, and what is the impact of that broadcast? So what if all anxiety cancer, financial issues, depression, wanting to kill yourself, all of those things, blockages to our moving forward in life, came down to the habitual and sometimes unknown negative thoughts that we're thinking. And I've been, really looking at this in preparation for this. And I realize now that when I get into a funk or whatever it is, it's because I've allowed like little weeds for these thoughts to creep into my consciousness. And I have to go back and pull out the weeds and work against them, realizing they are habits, they're habitual, and they've probably been in my family and my ancestry for centuries. And I have to come back and move into, no, this is going to work out great. This is going to be wonderful. Pre-paving, saying all the positive things that I truly want to happen and not giving any attention to the things that I don't want to happen. So are these things because of the thoughts we think every day? What do you think? Are you aware of the thoughts that you're thinking? If you review in your mind the past 24 hours, what have been your thoughts? Has there been anxiety, unease, and are they related to different things that you've been thinking? So what really happens is that these thoughts creep in without our awareness. If you look at all of the practices, the different spiritual practices, Zen Buddhism or the Hindu practices, many of the religious, really truly spiritual practices work on what they call the purification of the mind. Because think of it like taking your dog for a walk and you're training them, right? And you're constantly like, no, don't smell the grass now. Don't go over here to the squirrel, and you're kind of directing them and redirecting them until they finally get it and they know what they're supposed to do. And in some ways, our mind is like that. If we don't purify, or I hate to use the word discipline, but it's really will bring you something positive and discipline the mind with a practice to keep thinking these more positive thoughts. What is it that you want to happen? Keep thinking it. Keep reminding yourself. Don't give any thought or energy to that which you don't want to happen, because you're literally creating it as you're thinking it. So give me some feedback. Are these things that you've ever considered? And have you done certain practices in order to achieve these more positive thoughts? Now, in class, I've done a few of these affirmational processes, and I noticed when I did them that it really took more than just telling people to think positive thoughts. There really had to be a process to move people from their experience into the more positive. And we've done this several times during Miracles Hour and during the weekly training. And before people know it, they're not in pain anymore. They don't even remember what the issue is. They're really into the positive thoughts of that which they most want to experience in their life. And they start to see the connection between their chronic pain, their thyroid issue, and the thoughts that they've been thinking. So I don't know if you've ever seen this image, and you may think, oh yes, I've sort of seen this image somewhere. I know in passing in books and so forth. And you've probably seen this particular image. So this particular image is Shiva. And Shiva, if you notice, all of the little flames and Shiva go all the way down to the bottom. And what is Shiva standing on top of? So Shiva is standing on top of the demon of forgetfulness. And all of these Hindu and different religions, they all have an element of truth. So what is the element of truth contained within this? If we go to a little bit of a close-up here, this demon is called Apamsara, and it is the demon of forgetting who you truly are. So Lord Shiva dancing on the demon of forgetfulness, when we forget who we truly are, we forget our power. And so when you think the thought, like I might die of this germ, you've forgotten who you are. And when you think the thought, I'll never be able to start my genius practice, you have forgotten who you are. Or think of the thing that you most want to achieve And now dial it back to, what are the words that you say that stop you, that worry you, that you think that you cannot do this? So each day we forget our true power. The thoughts we think represent that forgetfulness. In each spiritual practice, they underline the importance of repetition to recondition the mind. You're reconfiguring the mind because that is your point of attraction for the entire experience in this dimension of consciousness. And every day, just like you're running your genius frequencies to entrain that, we also need to be consciously thinking the thoughts of what we want to experience. So I invite you, the whole goal of human existence is to be happy, but also we're always trying to increase something. We want to have more joy, more financial abundance, more education, more experience, more something. It is the nature of human beings that we're always trying to expand who we are. So if we move naturally into that expansion, then we have joy and happiness. But if we don't gravitate right into that experience, then there's something that we are thinking that is blocking that. So what is it that you truly want to experience right now? If you could wave a magic wand, you would have it. Does it have to do with your own health? Does it have to do with happiness, living somewhere, living in the house that you want, abundance, relationships? Do you believe that you have the power to instantly manifest? When you think of yourself right now and you want something, do you have the power to instantly manifest? Maybe you have the power, but you're not sure how it all works. The genius is definitely connected to this. The genius can help you in this process, like your training wheels, as you learn to just manifest effortlessly from your own being, because that's where the manifestation actually comes from. So if you believe you can, what do you think prevents you from doing it right now? $1 million appear in front of you, or you now have the love of your life, or you have the perfectly fit body. What are the things that prevent you from doing it? And it's often habituated thought. Over and over and over again. If you think the thought like you're obsessed with it, like in spirituality, they teach you to repeat your mantra over and over. The rosary beads and the rudrakshas, the beads that people hold in their hands, and they just go, and now I'm filled with financial abundance. I'm filled with financial abundance. I'm manifesting financial abundance. In the same way they say their religious mantra or sacred words over and over again, this is what we have to sort of fill our consciousness with in order to transform our lives. But the more that we do that, say it out loud in the positive statement, we'll actually notice that's happening faster and faster. So there is a specific process for this. Now, some of it has to do with, yes, writing it down and allowing yourself into the space of, if I could wave a magic wand and make it happen. So you could do that right now, especially if you're going to be a volunteer. Just write down what it is that you truly want. Now, let's talk about the science behind intention, because it's very easy, even for the negative mind, to dismiss what I'm saying. It'll be like, I know that, positive thoughts create positive reality. Okay, okay. But we have to understand the science behind the intention, the voice, the electromagnetic fields, the influence on the neuroplasticity of the brain. We need the cognitive knowledge in order for our mind to agree and participate. And we also need the process of how we go through this and clear out the mind and then bring in and allow the positive thoughts. So what is intention? So just think, because intention powerfully plays a part with your genius work. The people who get the best results from the genius are often those who have a very clear intention. There's some genius practitioners that hit a home run on their first session with their client, and some take longer. Now, granted, that absolutely has to do with your client as well as you. But very clear intention can be very powerful. But what is intention? When you state affirmatively what you want to see take place, what do you want to transform or manifest? Is it intention? Is intention just a wish? And does it make a difference? So intention does change us at a fundamental level. And think about this. You become, some of the most ancient texts, the Indian texts tell us that you become that which you think about most. You literally transform into it. So what do you find that you think about, obsess about, find your mind going back and thinking about the most? So that is when we're worried about something, right? And we think about the thing we don't want to happen. As you know, we instantly, or we can manifest that. So write down all the things that you think might be preventing you from getting what you truly want. You know, when I sit down with a person who's chronically ill and I say, what do you think is causing this? What do you think is stopping you from healing? And so write down all the things that you think are preventing you from getting what you want. Is it not enough time, not enough money? What are the things that prevent you from really manifesting that thing which is closest to your heart, which is the whole reason we're here, is to have the things that are closest to our heart and really have that joy and have that ability to have those things and experience those things. Now, if you had that particular thing, what would be the feeling in your body? So if you had the money, if you had the job, if you had the relationship, if you had the fit body, what would be the thing that you would most experience? What would be the emotion that you experience? Make sure you connect it to an emotion. That is really, really important. Now, let's talk a little bit about the science. So the power of intention literally reshapes our brain. Now, it could be a negative intention, a negative thought, a negative habitual thought, or it could be a very positive thought. Our consciousness and our brain is so malleable. That's why people, unfortunately, they have the mass formation psychosis. People can be, people want to believe other people. It's our nature. And our consciousness is very neutral. So whatever we feed into our brain will be accepted by our brain to a certain degree. This is neuroplasticity. Whatever thoughts we're thinking are creating literally new electrical connections. And we are, in a scientific way, becoming that which we think about most. So it's very deeply influenced by repetition. And our default mechanism, which we're mostly not aware of, is our negative thoughts that creep in, the one we will learn from our parents, from our tribe, from our family that we're used to. And that's why spirituality is so focused on take your Rudraksha beads with you, say the mantra over and over and over again 1,000 times a day to begin to purify your mind. So the neural pathways that are constantly be connected are made up of the electrical force of your thoughts. So you have to come into that positive intention of taking control of the wheel and saying, wait a second, I want to choose the thoughts that I'm thinking. My thoughts have almost just been thinking me without me even realizing it. So our brain is made up of incredibly highly complex circuits known as neural pathways. And these are the superhighways of nerve cells that transmit these messages. And we are the ones that can feed in what that messaging will be. They're changing us at a cellular level, at an organ level, your liver, your skin cells, everything about you is changed by the power of your electrical fields, which are your thoughts. Those are the most powerful. Now, the genius also comes in and can shape us in partnership with that intention. It's an electrical field as well. But which one do you think is more powerful? It's your thoughts and words that are changing your brain, that neuroplasticity, and then disseminating, sort of going downstream to your hormones, your cells, your liver, your pancreas, and so forth. So the more times you think the thought, right, the more powerful that electrical field that you're broadcasting from that big brain of yours is becoming. It can become enhanced and enhanced and enhanced and enhanced. And it's the opposite as well. If you think about people who get into a very serious depression, a very serious negative, they actually, unfortunately, can use that in the exact opposite direction. If you've ever known someone who is very depressed, like it's almost obsessive, their thoughts about the situation. And so that in and of itself is creating a very powerful electrical field, but it's not taking them in the direction that they want to go. So we have to really pull back and look at our thoughts, as rudimentary and elementary as it sounds. What are the thoughts that you've been thinking, and how could they possibly be influencing your life? And in that moment, we get to explore all of our belief systems, like, oh, but this was something that I believed about my illness, or I believed about my current state of finances. Maybe this particular belief is not true. And whether it's true or not, maybe I could just replace it with a new belief. And wouldn't that be amazing? And that is going to create a new electrical field, a new point of attraction. Those of you may know that when you start thinking the thought, it starts off very, very small. It doesn't have a lot of momentum behind it. And so if we're starting to think a negative thought, we have about 17 seconds before it sort of starts to attract like electricity and frequency. And we can stop it, change it, move it into the positive, and now just keep thinking the positive thought, keep thinking the positive thought, keep repeating it, and it's going to grow and eventually takes on an amazing momentum of its own, and it just keeps attracting and attracting and attracting that positivity. You may have experienced that in your life, where you're sort of like moving up the hill and you just, it's the best day ever, and then the next day is the best day ever, and you're just on this wonderful flow of beginning to attract more money and more positive things into your life. And it was because of the thoughts that you've been thinking. So the more we repeat a positive statement, our brain literally reorganizes neurons that push us in the direction of those thoughts. This is a little bit cut off on the left here. So this is the science behind how we are creating our own reality, and it's all frequency based, but we are the frequency generator. Yes, the genius is an amazing frequency generator that has a place in our life, but we are the supreme frequency generator. We are the supreme genius, okay? It's something that happens in partnership with our own physiology. So every thought that we're thinking is having a physiological and cellular effect, even if it doesn't seem to be about health, right? But if it carries the place of being uplifted, of positive, of joy, it is now improving the health of every cell. It is now improving the health of your body. Your body is going to begin to age more slowly. So now that you know this, how will you begin to use this power? So intention itself is frequency, okay? So all of your thoughts are electromagnetic fields and filled with frequency. They are converted to these fields by the nerve cells, right? The neurons in your body, which we know are electrical charge. They literally carry electrical messages through electrical flow. So the brain itself is a broadcaster. We talk about scalar energy, about remote broadcasting. Why is Reiki possible? Is because our brain is this electrical frequency broadcaster. Once we become aware of how powerful this all is, then you're going to want to know a process, a series of step-by-step things that you can do to sink your teeth into this and really capture all of this newly found awareness and energy. And in each moment, you'll never be the same, because the minute you slip into a negative thought, you'll realize that it causes an entire cascade of events just through you thinking the thought. So the cells are constantly responding to all of your thoughts, anger, frustration, depression, saying, calling someone something, or thinking something terrible about yourself, which is more of what people do. So what are you broadcasting to your cells today? What does it say about the capacity for you to heal yourself? How is it possible to do this? We need a process, right? So we're powerful beyond our understanding at this time. And if we stepped into that power in the moment, a germ or thing would come along and would be like, oh my gosh, this is a joke. I'm not even paying any attention to this because I can heal my cancer like this. I can heal my germ like this. I can heal my Lyme like this. I don't need to be stuck in that place. I have Lyme. I don't know what to do. The thoughts, what if the repeated, almost obsessive, habitual thoughts could take you out of that state, could change your frequency. And when you change your frequency, all the disease state begins to fall away. So we need to regain the cognitive, scientific understanding of this power, very important for our Western mind. And then we need a process in order to engage and activate this process, right? And I like to say, we are the med beds we've been waiting for. In our tribe, there's a huge interest in the med beds. I'm sure they're coming. They'll be great. But did you know that you are the ultimate med bed, having the ability to slow your aging process, to manifest anything in your body that you want? But it takes that step-by-step process and understanding that what you're doing has meaning and actually has effect. So more light than ever is flowing into planet Earth. And that is why, has anybody noticed that the months seem to be going by like weeks? Has anybody else experienced that? Time is literally speeding up. And more light is flowing into planet Earth as she goes through her transformation. I'm sure each and every one of you are very aware that this process is happening. And because of this, your ability to manifest has also been increased significantly. So from the time you're thinking the thought to your ability to manifest it is much faster, which is why more than ever, we want to be careful what we are thinking, because it could manifest so much faster. Be careful what you think, be careful what you speak, be very conscious about this magnificent power within you. In our dualistic world, it could go either way. Just a little aside that's so interesting, and we're going to be talking more about this in Affirmational Magic, and I think you're going to be totally blown away by what the mind can do that we already are aware of. And you may be aware of the Tiller experiments. Dr. Tiller worked at Stanford University, and he studied a lot of mind over matter phenomena. In this particular one, a group of individuals put their awareness on an electrical circuit which contained a crystal, and it was connected to water. And what they could do with the generation, the electrical generators, they could change the pH of water. So this electrical generator could change potentially the pH of water. They used their thoughts to see if they could influence this mechanism to change the pH of the water in one direction or another direction, making it more acidic or more alkaline. So imagine if your thoughts could change your pH. So they actually sent these circuits to they overnighted it to a lab all the way across the country. And they wrapped it in foil so it would be protected, sent it over. And then the water was found to respond directly as the students were thinking the thoughts. When they when they were thinking the thought or sending the intention that the water become more alkaline, the monitor over on the other side in the lab found that the water shifted to an alkaline pH. And when they were able to all put their intention together that the water become more acidic, it actually clicked up in pH to the acidic pH. And the odds of this actually being able to achieve happening by chance is about 1,000,000 to 1. There are many more mind over matter phenomena for us to explore and look at. And we need to train our conscious mind that this is possible. And it's almost old news. It's been done. But we need our mind to really understand the science, the history, and then the mind goes, oh, I got it. I can do this, because it's so new, right? So it's been so hidden from us. So your thoughts are electromagnetic and can be broadcasters. They are the literal ultimate scalar broadcasters. When I was living in the ashram, we had a guru, right, the meditation teacher. And one of the students said to me, you know, we were out in the field one day and the guru looked at she said, oh, we really need water. We really need rain for these new vegetables that we're putting in. And it just said that she looked at the sky and it was totally cloudless. And then she walked away and all of a sudden clouds moved in and rain started to pour. So your thoughts are such electromagnetic broadcasters. Could they change the weather? Could they maybe correct some of the weather issues that we're having? Could they change the whole energy of the planet? Could they clear out this negativity that we've been having to deal with just through our thoughts? And, you know, when you start to look at your thoughts, you will instantly start to notice where your negative thoughts creep in. And it's really a stunning experience to think, oh, this is not because of karma or my mother or my friend or my husband. This is because of the thoughts that I've been thinking. So how does modern medicine view the power of the mind to heal? Do you think our wonderful and well-intentioned allopathic community, medical community, what do they think, or do they view the mind with the same viewpoint? You know, when you go to the doctor, they ask for, hey, what's wrong with you? That's called, in medical language, it's called the chief complaint. And then they have you talk all about the details of your problem. So if whatever you focus on increases, if you just talk for an hour about your health problem, what is likely to happen to the vibration of your health problem? It increases, it gets bigger. The whole thing of going was to make it smaller. So the goal is for them to get a diagnosis for you, to name the problem. And so now we have a name for the problem. So now we can talk more about it and what we need to do about it. Did we move in a direction of healing, or did we move away from a direction? Are we just sort of amping up the vibration of the particular issue which we wished to resolve? So whatever you focus on in your life increases. Now, granted, sometimes we have a problem and we need to speak about it, but we should probably speak about it as little as possible to move into the energy of the solution, or even think about the problem in a way that describes its resolution. So I already know that my thyroid issue is being completely resolved, and I'm finding wonderful solutions, herbal, frequency, supplemental, and more. And this is perhaps how we need to even speak about the problem itself, as if it's already resolved. So since you're an electrical field broadcaster, anything you broadcast out affects your cells, your organs, your skin, your bones, and also the entire universe around you, the local home that you're living in, and the greater universe. So you're powerful beyond measure, but how will you use the broadcasting? Will it be positive, or will it be negative? So how will we transform our lives now that we know these concepts? This has been a very, very brief introduction, but I'd like to take a journey with you to dive into the science of intention, of neuroplasticity, and to understand what the frequencies are that we're creating and how we're broadcasting them out. And how can we then improve and refine these frequencies that are affecting every part of our being and even the greater universe? So another thing that, we're always thinking thoughts and people think affirmations, but did you know that the human voice has magic within it? and that you can transform everything around you and within you by also adding not just your intention, but the power of your voice. So the voice, there's some science, really interesting science behind this. The voice is an absolutely magical and transformational tool that you can use even if the Wi-Fi goes out, even if the electricity goes out, even if everything else fails, you can still use this transformational, amazing, always on, unless you have laryngitis, power of your voice. So we're going to explore the science behind certain tones and words that when spoken can literally create magic. And this is so fun and empowering to learn about. So whether we're removing obstacles or creating abundance, we can learn to not only use the thought intention and electrical fields created by intention, but also the electrical broadcasting ability of the voice, and to use it in a very strategic way with certain tones and sounds and frequencies that can make a powerful difference. So how can I use this electrical field broadcasting capacity in my life for it to make a difference for me, and to also share this process with my clients? When I work with a genius client, I can incorporate this in what I'm doing and make their experience, much more potent, happen maybe much faster, and for them even to become aware of their own power. So learn a step-by-step process that takes you from anxiety, depression, chronic pain, emotional suffering, and not quite achieving the goals that are closest to your heart, to just powerful manifestation, a certainty about your manifestation. Look, I've studied the science behind this. I know this thing works. So move into, and I believe this is exactly what we're meant to experience in the new earth, is regaining this knowledge and this certainty and really understanding it just as we've studied anatomy and physiology. So it's a step-by-step process for you to move into joy, ease, happiness, creating effortlessly, and living the life that you know you deserve. We just needed sort of a handbook, a how-to, and also really understanding that this isn't just pie in the sky. This is true science behind it. So discover the science of language, intention, the frequencies of letters, how to more powerfully craft your words for certain manifestation. This is just fun stuff for people who love frequency, vibration, and all of this stuff. It's just fun to dive into this. The power of sound and tones, and training specific frequencies for success, and even some secret symbols and colors that you can use for maximal effect. And you're just going to giggle at your ability to move out of the space of chronic illness, chronic pain, my arthritis, I can't move, I don't have mobility, into, wow, this is like having stem cells. This is like having the med bed, and the power is all within you. So we're going to take some volunteers in just a moment. I do want to let you know that beginning in June, we're going to do this after the energy medicine course, which will be a great basis for this. And I think we're going to work on as many people as possible. We may even have a separate lab just for working with people, because it's such an exciting process. So it's a 6-session course that happens once a week for 6 weeks, learning about the science and the process behind intention, words, voice, tones, the electricity that is created, the neuroplasticity that literally becomes the broadcaster from your brain to your body. So we'll work with as many people as possible that want to, and then we're going to document how they change. So if you truly want to change something in your life and you want to help your clients, all the energies on planet Earth are now moving and allowing this positive manifestation more than ever. Faster manifestation from thoughts to things. So learn how to be an intentional broadcaster, and then join me for Affirmational Magic. Yes, we're going to have an Affirmational Magic frequency library that's included. It's going to begin on Thursday, June 16th. So after, it's going to be a week break between energy medicine course and this course. And it's going to allow you to work on yourself to see your own transformation. Of course, it's going to be recorded. We are going to work with the genius. We are going to work with the library. We'll also use the neuro remedy, but it'll be a lot about you, the things that are emanating from you as the power point, as the origination point. If you'd like to sign up for it today, then I'm going to be imprinting the affirmational magic frequencies to this amethyst bracelet for 30 minutes for anyone who would like this. I'm going to send it whether you live in Australia or you live in Texas. I'm going to send it shipping included. And it's just $99 a month for 3 months. We have a special installment link that we're going to post in just a moment. After May 15th, it'll be $497. For now, it's just $297 or 3 installments of $99 if you'd like to be part of this. And you can use biofeedbacksuccess.com. This is our link shortener. It's really handy. And you just say biofeedbacksuccess.com/magic. And you can read the full description on the Genius Biofeedback website. We're going to post that in just a moment. And I'd like to take any volunteers. So if you had volunteered, I'm going to look for your date of birth and we're going to bring you up here. What is the thing that you most want to transform? We're going to do a genius session on it, but I'm going to be asking you some key questions that are going to allow us to create some affirmational magic for you. So I'm really excited about exploring with you the science behind intention, and it's really going to just be a nice ally to your genius practice. Let's get some links up here. So we have the link for the actual course itself. So let's just go ahead and put that in the chat. And, you know, think about the health issues that you've been dealing with. You just really, I can't break through no matter what I do. It just never changes. So are you ready to change it? This would be a good process for that. Okay, that's the link there. And then we also have a process PDF for you, which is just an introduction to the process itself. And I know some people volunteered. So let's go ahead and look at that. Right back in the beginning here, we had Dale Ann. So Dale Ann, if you'd like to join me up here, if you're still here, we're going to check and make sure you're still with us. And then we're going to invite you up here. So, and think about what it is that you'd like to change and transform. We're going to have some fun working with that, and we'll invite you up here. And we're also going to bring the genius up as well and work with the genius, and we'll take any of your questions as well. So we're going to take you through the 6 weeks of process to learn about the science behind the voice, words, frequency, you as an electrical scalar broadcaster. Hi, Dale Ann, how are you today?
Hi, I'm just great, thanks. I'm so glad I sat in on this. It's wonderful.
Did anything percolate, or did you have any thoughts or impressions based on what we talked about today?
Yes, I have chronic pain in my legs, so I have, and it's related to trouble moving forward. Some personal things,
that's the literal
big
translation
personal changes.
of it.
Yeah. So a lot of uncertainty and just being on my own, and where am I going to live? Am I going to rent or buy? This is in some ways an exciting time to do this, and in other ways it's a terrifying way to do this. So
I completely
time
understand.
to do this is what I mean.
I think many of us have been going through that. So it sounds so familiar. And I really admire your courage for, coming on and talking with us today. Like, you truly do want to have that powerful transformational change.
Yes, I do. So I've been trying various things, including running frequencies, but I am really very conscious of the way my thoughts contribute to my pain.
Okay. And we want to get into that a little bit more and talk about it. Let's have you have the genius as part of this, because we're going to create some affirmations for you as well. So let's, hopefully I can get a pen over here. So let's have you record your voice, or I'll record your voice, and let's record your voice, and I'll go ahead and cue you. So I'll start recording your voice in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Dale Ann Schaefer, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U.
Wonderful. Okay. And just a little bit of background about yourself. Where are you living now? And you're a healer. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Can you repeat that for me, please?
Just a little bit of background about yourself. I don't remember. I know we've talked a couple of times. Are you a healer? What do you do? Where are you in life? That kind of thing.
I teach about essential oils. I sell natural medicine, and I have been using the Genius since November. And I've started doing sessions, and I have a demo coming up in a couple of weeks, an in-person group demo. We're going to run frequencies for world peace and chakra balancing and do a demo with somebody. So I'm just really starting my practice.
That's wonderful. So since this is about positive words, is there a positive word that we can use for your energetic entrainment, whether it be joy, peace, abundance, love? Is there one that comes to mind?
I move with ease and flow.
That's great.
Ease and grace, or ease and flow. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So now with that, tell us a little bit about the issue. Tell us a little bit about the pain, how long, where it is, that type of thing.
Okay. I have arthritis in my knees. I've had one knee replacement 4 years ago, and I've got pain in the other knee, which is related to my hips being torqued, and I have my outside ligament on my left leg is very tight. And so I have pain, not only in my left leg, but I'm finding that I have pain in my right leg too. We've been very busy getting the house ready for selling, so there's a lot of physical work. And I find that I've got a lot of electrical kinds of impulses going on in my legs, even at night.
Okay. So now what is it that you want to experience with regard to legs and body? What would be the true thing that you want to experience?
I'd love to go walking or hiking or biking and not be thinking about how far can I go. I'd like to just plan to do that. I'd like to be outside more, taking my dog for longer walks.
Great. So if you're walking freely and pain-free, as you see yourself walking, what emotion are you experiencing?
I'm experiencing hopefulness and joy and lots of creative ideas for things that I can do to move forward in my business and do with friends and that kind of unfriendly.
Okay, so I heard hopefulness, joy. Are there any other emotions that you can associate with it?
I think I have trouble with the positive ones.
That's a great awareness, though.
Yeah. So hopefulness, joy, thoughts of abundance. That's not really a feeling, though, is it?
Exactly. And sometimes you can associate with also just a positive sensation in your body. So when I'm outside, I can walk far. I can walk my dog with ease. What am I feeling in my body?
I'd be feeling a lightness, an energy, because my body feels heavy often now. So the opposite of that.
All right, let's do it. So
let's
think of an affirmation. Affirmation number 1. I am so happy. What did you say? Did you say let's say joyous. I am so joyous because
I can take long walks.
Awesome. Without any.
So that's the thing, Ariel. I've been wondering, is it okay to have an affirmation that says pain-free?
I think it is.
Okay. All right.
I think I'm able to take long walks completely. Let's just start with pain-free. Part of the affirmational magic process is starting with whatever and then working your way up. So don't worry about it being perfect.
Okay.
This works
So
in a stair-step process too. I'm so joyous because I can take long walks completely pain-free. Now, you're out there walking, joyous, pain-free. What is the next thing that you experience?
Boy. Taking long walks, pain-free. I feel energized. My creative juices are flowing.
Let's just do I feel energized.
Okay.
So when you're out there and you're walking, you feel energized.
I feel happy.
Let's just do I feel happy. Yeah.
Okay.
Now let's cycle back a little bit. When you're through the course of your day, what do you think some of the blocking thoughts are? And we're all human, we all have them. But I'm just curious, like, when you're going through the day and the pain is there and it's been there for a long time, do you think that there are any associated thoughts with that experience?
Yes. I'm thinking about the uncertainty. What's coming next? When do I do this?
More about that's really good. More about the issue itself. So you're in pain. What is the thought about the pain?
What is the thought about the pain?
Or maybe there isn't any. Is it like, oh, I'm going to snap out of this tomorrow, going to be gone soon?
I'm wondering what the pain is telling me. I'm kind of dwelling on that. What is the pain telling me? And how am I going to get rid of it? And at times there's not very much pain. And so I'm thinking, what's the difference between now and before, when it was
What is the
painful?
difference? What do you think it is? What was the difference when you're not in pain versus when you are? Not sure.
I think it's when I'm not in as much pain. It has a lot to do with just feeling hopeful and making plans. And
okay, I got it. It's the hopeful
feeling
piece.
Positive about.
Okay, that's awesome. Can you hear me?
Plans.
Can you hear me? Okay, I think we're lagging a little bit. So that's it. It's the hopeful. It's the hope. The hopeful is a big part of it, and the certainty part. So I am so hopeful about my life because
I have.
Now this can be imagination. This doesn't have to be exactly true in this moment, what you would want. Waving a magic wand, I want to experience this. I am so hopeful because
I have found a new home.
Yes.
With a garden view. With a large kitchen for entertaining.
Okay, hang on. Let's just leave it there.
With a garden view, yeah.
And a large space for entertaining.
Yeah.
Now, what would ever hold you back from that experience?
Money.
Okay. So, what would be the affirmation? I am so incredibly thankful because now
I have unlimited financial means.
Say I'm suspecting a little bit of not belief there in that one. Can we say a little bit? I'm so incredibly thankful because I now have maybe just the beginning of it. Like now money is flowing into me, money's flowing into my life. Something has happened to cause a shift to allow money to come. What will be your own words around that?
Because I attract, I don't chase.
Because I am
attracting financial means, or I'm attracting money into my life because I'm
that's
providing.
Fine. That can be in and of itself. That we can just leave it. We can leave it
Okay.
there. The universe is pretty compassionate and kind, and we can keep them kind of, short, and then do another one and another one and another one. I'm so hopeful because I found a new home with a garden view and a large space for entertaining. I'm so incredibly thankful because now I'm attracting money. I'm so joyous because I can take long walks completely pain-free. I feel energized. I feel happy. Now, certainty. I am feeling, what happens when you feel in your body when you feel uncertainty?
Constriction. I take shallow breaths. Sorry, what was that word? When I feel what?
This is a word that you've mentioned several times. Uncertainty.
Right. Yeah, I take shallow breaths. My muscles tighten up, and I feel fear.
Maybe part of the pain is related to the fear of uncertainty, because you're tightening up. And so a lot of the day, remember, we all compassion and love, because everybody who's watching this has some matching picture in this, including myself. I mean, who hasn't felt uncertain in the last 2 years and been worried and anxiety stricken and all of this? But so when we're constricted, when you're constricted and the shallow breaths and the muscles tighten, could this be a time when you experience more pain?
Yes. That makes perfect sense.
What is the thing about uncertainty? Tell me about what terrible things uncertainty can create. What is the fear?
Making the wrong decisions. What was that other? Having regrets. Having regrets is big.
Okay, let's turn it into an affirmational statement. And then we're going to test you for the affirmation. So everybody who's watching, this is part of the process, and we're going to test to see which are the ones that stick the most. And we're going to turn them into neuro remedies. And then we're going to have her say these statements over and over. In fact, Dale-Ann, can you join us for the Friday class?
I think so. Oh, is it at noon as well?
Yes.
Same
time.
I can join for half an hour. I have to.
All right, good. Okay, thank you, Lord. So in the first half hour, we're going to have you tell us about your experience, because we're going to put you on a little homework assignment. So, what can we say about the truth about wrong decisions that we're going to put in an affirmational statement? Are there wrong decisions?
No, actually, my head tells me that they're not. Or maybe it's my heart.
So let's put it into an affirmational statement. How about something to the effect, and you can reword me. I make decisions with ease, knowing that I make the best decision at that time for myself. Is that okay?
Yep, that's perfect.
I make decisions with ease, knowing that I always make, I think I changed this a little bit, the best decision at that time with what I know. Is there some way that you can think back where you thought maybe you made the wrong decision, but then you looked back again and realized that it may have actually been a brilliant decision?
Oh, If you'd stopped halfway through that sentence, I could have, I could have remembered something that wasn't, but ended up being. Maybe. Do you want an example?
Okay, it's okay. You can just be thinking about it. What I want to bring back the people who are watching is look at all the affirmations that we have for Delen. All of these in the negative or turned around, I believe could be contributing to your pain and also emotional just discomfort. So I'm hopeful because I found a new home. When we're worried that we won't find the right place to live, that's so distressing to us. So we turned it around into this affirmation, and as she says and becomes the affirmation, I believe there will be a new sense of ease and comfort within her. And I'm so joyous because I can take long walks completely pain-free. As she moves into that space, a lot of the angst around the pain starts to get left behind. I make decisions with ease, knowing that I always make the best decision at that time with what I know. And we could even add to that, and it always turns out for the best. Can you think of a way that somehow, in some greater way, your decisions have always turned out for the best?
Yes.
Okay. Let's even put this like my decisions always turn out to be for the best. And again, what we're doing is this is a medicinal frequency as much as any medicine would be, because these are all really sort of highlighting the emotional blocks that she was experiencing, and we've just turned them on their head into, we don't want to experience that, we don't want to focus on it, so we're not going to give it any attention. We're actually going to turn it around, and we're only going to focus on the positive outcome that we want to experience. Now, certainty and uncertainty. So I think you already said uncertainty makes you feel constricted. What is it about that essence of uncertainty? What is an example where you have uncertainty has troubled you?
For example, when I find a new place to live, do I rent or do I buy? And if I rent, how do I keep my assets safe?
So a lot of it is about decision and deciding. So decision is very related to gallbladder and gallbladder meridian. So this would be something that we can incorporate into Genius Session, into you working on it. When gallbladder settles down, then we feel more clear about our decision. And also another great remedy for that is the Bach flower remedy Scleranthus is really, really good for it. What affirmation can we say about you rediscovering a new relationship with certainty and decisions?
When I feel inspired to do something, I just do it.
So all of a sudden that inspiration gives you conviction about your decision.
Because I know that I tend to think too long on things, and I am really trying to rely on my intuition and act on it, because it doesn't work to recognize when you are getting nudges if you don't take the next step. And I am a cautious person, and I'm looking for a way to just do things instead of thinking them to death.
That sounds absolutely delightful. Like it sounds exciting and exhilarating to just take the action, to feel the impulse and take the action.
Yes.
So I allow myself to be guided by my intuition and take certain action. Yeah, knowing that things will turn out perfectly. That is your medicine, is the actual repetition of that. And then the neuroplasticity and the signals and the electronics and everything begins to change, even if you're not in that state now, because it is a state that is part of you, but it's not really a state or a muscle that you'd be like a bicep that's all like flabby and we haven't used it. And your weightlifting is to say this over and over and over and over and over again until you literally become that. I allow myself to be guided by my intuition and take certain action, knowing that things, will turn out perfectly. I'm just going to change this a little bit. Will turn out perfectly. So let's hear you say the statement.
I allow myself to be guided by my intuition and take certain action, knowing that things will turn out perfectly.
How do you feel when you say it?
I love it.
Oh,
I
that's
really,
great.
really, really like that one. Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, feel the feeling in your body as you say it. Is there another affirmation that gets built on top of that one?
I feel this joy bubbling up in me when I say that.
That's great.
So I feel overjoyed to know that I am moving forward with flow, or that I'm in my flow and moving forward.
Okay, then you are moving into flow.
And moving forward.
It's always so interesting because whatever our burden is our gift. And it's very, very likely that you have such a strong intuition and such a natural ability to flow with life. Does any of that ring true?
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
I wonder where you can go in life with this, just showing people your flow, your natural movement through life.
Yep. And I've got a lot of that ahead of me because I'm moving into something like a different area than what I've ever worked in before and what I've ever done to provide a service before.
That is really cool. So now when you're overjoyed because you know you're in flow and moving forward, now waving a magic wand, getting super excited, what is another affirmation that bubbles up? And you can get crazy. You can get wild and crazy. Move into allow your imagination.
Okay. I'm looking for the last one, Ariel. Where is it?
I feel it's the third one up. I feel overjoyed to know that I am in my flow and moving forward. Let's have you say it one time. Just go ahead and say it out loud because your voice is more powerful than mine. I
feel overjoyed to know that I am in my flow and moving forward. I am open to receiving inspiration.
I am open to receiving inspiration.
For where?
For what?
I'm going to live.
Okay, got it. I bet you're going to get some inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you're going to get some inspiration. Okay, we're going to test these to see which ones are the highest. But now if we just stop right there and, and we could have even said, I am receiving the most incredible divine inspiration right now about where I'm going to live. So you can sort of juice it and amp it up even more. Now, when you think the thought or even say like, I am so excited because I'm receiving this divine inspiration. Maybe I'm going to see a picture. Somebody's going to call me. I'm going to notice it about where I'm going to be living. What is the experience in your body?
Oh, a deep breath.
I mean, that was it right there. It was like, oh, it was like relief.
About where I'm going to live, and big smile, and just grateful, a lot of gratitude.
And so there's an ease in your body that I think it, when the sigh and the breath was like almost like a relaxation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we're not constricting, we're not breathing shallow, we're not holding all the tightness in our body. The body can freely move. The pain may even be leaving us.
Yeah. The fight, flight, freeze just reduces.
Yes. So maybe let's just like amp it up that little bit, right?
Okay.
I am receiving the most incredible information and inspiration about my new home.
Yes.
But that is part of the affirmational, is it to get in a momentum and building on and if I could have this, I could have this. It doesn't at the moment have to do anything with our conscious reality. We really want to move into that right brain. And then I could have this, and then it could be this, and allow sort of your own body and your own flow to take you in that direction. Speaking of flow, let's go ahead and test this and see which one comes up as the highest, and what other thoughts are sort of percolating up as we're talking about it. Is there any other inspiration or thoughts that have come to mind?
This last one about, I wrote down where I'm going to live, because I'm thinking, I'm in the lower mainland of BC. I could live anywhere. What's holding me back? I want to be near my loved ones, but my kids are adults. Yes. And I want to have the freedom to travel anywhere that I want, which I don't right now, technically. The government is telling me that, right? But it doesn't have to be my reality.
But that's exactly goes into the affirmations that we're talking about. You've already caught that thought, which may be true, maybe not true. And you sort of stopped yourself. It's like, the affirmation would be, I can absolutely live and move to anywhere that I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I am being guided and carried to that new location. And I think the part that's missing is just sort of, breaking and just going, Dale, where does your heart most want to live? Forget about everything else. If you just had to give an answer in a second, where would you most want to be? No obligation. You can still not move there, but where would you most want to be?
Somewhere I have never been, and that is New Mexico.
New Mexico. That's a very high vibrational place.
Is it?
Yes.
I've just got a fascination with New Mexico for several reasons, but yeah, and I've never even been there.
At least visiting is on the agenda.
That would be a good idea. Yeah.
It's so exciting to think about going to a place that you truly love and your heart is guiding you to. That means it could be magical. There could be something serendipitous about going there. And maybe the vibration and land location is something that's very, very good for your body. And maybe there's even hot springs there that help you to work on the knees and legs and help to relieve your pain. So your divine guidance is probably so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Already showing you your divine GPS, showing you where to go.
Yes, my divine GPS. I like that.
So in the energy of the genius, it's actually the lowest one is the highest resonance. And isn't it interesting that the lowest one is, I allow myself to be guided by my intuition. I missed a couple of words there, but I think we all know what it means. By my intuition, and take certain action, knowing things will turn out perfectly. That's the energy that you're resonating with the most. I feel energized. And then the next one up is I'm open to receiving inspiration for where I'm going to live. And then even this one, I feel happy. We're going to go ahead and see if we can screenshot those. We're going to put them into a neuro remedy. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
And then we can even send them to you in the quantum capsule. And then we'll sort of summarize everything that we've been through, and we'll sort of sum up at the half hour so everybody knows where we are. And I'll take any of your comments and questions that you have about this process. But this is really where the medicine is at. It's in the thoughts. So let's see if we can stack these up and do a neuro remedy on this. If you want to go to your own neuro remedy, it's located in the menu area, and we're just going to delete this other one. We're going to use the plus sign, and we're going to put Dale Ann's affirmations, and we're going to bring them up on the screen in a moment so that we can see them. And then I'm going to be sending you by email these exact affirmations. I'm going to be asking you to say each one of the 5. Would it be okay if I asked you to do that 3 times a day?
Each one of those 5, 3 times a day. Okay.
So maybe morning, you say them, you could just say them, you could just say them 5, like in morning, noon, and night. You don't even have to say them 15 times each. You could just say them 5, say those, and say it at noon, and then say it in the evening. But if you feel inspired and you want to say them more, then you're welcome to. The more that you say them, the more that they will lay down their tracks and have the effect. Let's see if we can get the other screenshot. And oops. All right, so let's go ahead and bring those in here. Let me just shuffle some things around here. So we're going to have you say these. If I can just make this happen here. Say the affirmations in just a moment. So I'm going to make sure you can see them on the screen. I'm actually going to bring this one down here because I think these are the ones that are really the top ones there. And okay, can you see them on the screen?
Yes, I can. And Ariel, it's interesting. You started with the very bottom one. I allow myself to be guided. And you describe that as the most something.
That's the one, the lowest blue is the one that resonates the most. And actually there's 6 of them here. So we'll do, if 6 is okay. 6 is a good number. So we'll do 6 3 times a day if you're okay with the extra one, not too much additional energy. But yes, when you get a blue on a test like this with the genius, that blue is the one that is resonating the most.
The chronic underlying root.
Yeah, it's actually, there's something about the blue test in the genius. That is the one that's resonating the most for you. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and record so you can see them. So just read from top to bottom and just read them once. Are you feel like you're ready?
Yes.
I'll start recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
I feel happy. I'm open to receiving inspiration for where I'm going to live. I feel energized. I allow myself to be guided by my intuition and take certain action, knowing that things will turn out perfectly. I'm so joyous because I can take long walks completely pain-free. My decisions always turn out to be for the best.
Fantastic. How did you feel when you were saying them?
Oh, I like these. I really like these. There's something about declaring. I'm really looking forward to doing this.
It's fun to incorporate the genius and just really find the ones that are, sticking the most. And then of course you can play them at the same time that you might be speaking them, which is also wonderful as well.
Right.
So
okay.
Yeah, so we're going to have you say them, and I'm going to send them to your quantum capsule. So I'll definitely do that. And we'll send the neuro remedy to your quantum capsule, and we can explain what all is entailed in that. And then we're going to have you at least say them, 6 of them, 3 times a day out loud. And let's see if we can get this to play. I'll do that afterwards. So Dale Ann, thank you so much for being part of what we're doing. And I can't wait to hear from you on Friday.
The thank you is all mine. I'm just, and thank you to everybody else for putting maybe your desires aside and letting me step up. I so appreciated this.
Fantastic. All right. It's been a
I'll see
pleasure.
you Friday.
Blessings. We'll see you Friday. Thank you. Very cool. She did fantastic. That took a lot of courage for her to be so just really honest with us and sharing her experience, which we all have pieces of that within us. And really the whole thing about her chronic pain is the fear of moving forward, the fear, the uncertainty, right? Which is causing a lot of blocks of energy in her body, the shallow breathing. And so this is the affirmational magic. This is the process. And I really believe it can be used to resolve so many physical issues. And it brings to light for the person what the connection is between the thinking, the body experience, and the ability to move beyond that with the affirmational statement. So we're going to change a whole bunch of lives with this. I hope you will join me for the 6 courses. They're going to be life-changing, and we're going to go through work with as many people as we can. And we may even have a separate time for a lab so we can work with more people. So if you are ready to do this level of transformation, you really want to learn about the science behind it, how it happens with the voice, what's happening with the electrical flow of the brain, symbols, words, frequencies, and combine it with the genius. Please join me beginning on the 16th of June. It's biofeedbacksuccess.com/miracles, easy installments of just the $99 per month. I hope you can join. And remember, everybody who joins today, I'm going to make one of these for you and send you imprinted with the affirmational magic frequencies. We're going to do this again on Friday. It's another introduction. So if you like this, you want to come hang out, volunteer, hear how Dell-Ann has experienced her sort of 72 hours of doing the affirmations, then definitely join us for that. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is a truly life-changing process that we are ready for. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.